Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Broman Clash right here, and I want to talk about a topic, and it's the topic of manipulation, and how the way manipulation is the opposite of understanding. And I remember I talked to this with one of my friends back at college. College is coming up soon, probably within like in a week or two. And because it's the month of January, I'll go back in January, but on January 27th, 29th, you know, never mind that. But I want to talk about the topic of manipulation and how the way manipulation is the opposite of understanding somebody. Now, a friend of mine, even though I said it once before, we're talking about this situation and how the way some people would rather manipulate people than to understand them. But when I talked to him about it, I said, hey man, put it up like this. See, look, when it comes right down to understanding people, you don't need to manipulate them because they already know where you're coming from. But they respect you more than enough, they'll say, look, I can look past the differences and we can look at the similarities, but I trust your sense of judgment because I understand where you're coming from. But those who just want to manipulate people, they try to put them on the guilt trip. They try to make them feel as if like, hey, if you don't do this, man, we're not gonna be friends anymore. Oh, I guess you were never my friend because you were never wanted to do this with me. And the whole thing with the whole guilt trip thing, it just proves that people who manipulate other people or expect people to do whatever the hell they want them to do, it just shows that they have a narrow mind instead of being more broad. Hey, I used to be narrow minded, but I never wanted to manipulate people. I admit that. I used to be narrow minded. I used to say some things that were grossly offensive. I'll admit it. Well, not as offensive as now, but back then I was pretty close minded. I'll admit that much. But I did not want to manipulate people. That's not the thing. Nor it wasn't even my kind of thing. But then, once you open up your mind, you start to realize that the people that you thought you liked or the people that you thought were cool with you, they would just end up just using you either for fame, for just to look good, just to say like, oh yeah, I hung out with him because he's smart. Oh, I hung out with him because he or she is strong. He or she is smart. He or she is strong. He or she is beautiful. And all that crap, man. Just so you can benefit yourself. That's also another form of manipulation. You can manipulate yourself, or you can just fool yourself. There's a difference between, understanding yourself and manipulating yourself. See, when you understand yourself, you understand what are your needs and what are your wants. You understand that you have problems. You understand that you have a bit of a struggle ahead of you. And in case some of y'all wondering why am I looking at my right hand, and sometimes when I talk about the negative, I look at my left hand. It's a bit of a technique. But anyways, see, when you look at the positives of understanding and the negatives of being misunderstood, you understand that, hey, as long as you understand yourself, you're cool. But if you try to manipulate yourself, see, when you manipulate yourself, you fool yourself, you can become more conceited, you think of yourself as nothing more than just as something of a fucking deity. And you know what happened to those that thought of themselves as deities, right? They were fucking utterly destroyed. And no, I'm not talking about religious context. I mean, you can look at historical context. How the way kings and queens of Europe, rulers in general, when their people threw up a regime, the people didn't like them. So, and what did they say about the king and queen? They say, oh yeah, we are the servants of God, or we are God's children, and you are just peasants. You can't even enter our grace. And then what happened? People just said, fuck that. Let's rebel. And the thing about, see, that's another form of manipulation, mass manipulation. And what you see, with today's times, especially with, the media, especially with music, and, manipulation of choice. But you cannot, see, look, some people say manipulation, to me, it's the negative connotation of understanding. Because you're coercing people, you're coercing people to doing something that they don't want to do, as opposed to understanding that, hey, he has a righteous mind, leave him be. That's what I would do. I would say like, hey man, you have your own mind, I have my own mind. Like, well, fuck it, I can't change you. Don't try to change me. That's how the way it is. And that's the thing. And if you say, look, man, I respect where you are coming from, because you want to know why? Because me and you think on the same plane, but we have different outlooks and outtakes and definitely different walks of life. But at the same time, I respect you more than enough to say this. I respect you. I respect where you're coming from. I'm not going to look at petty likes and dislikes, because all that shit is just petty. And especially when it comes right down to manipulation, you know, people are willing to manipulate other people so they can benefit themselves. But when you understand one another, especially when you understand the background, especially when you understand the struggles, you understand that, hey, this is who this is us, or this is who we are as a people. This is who we are as Comrade in Arms. See, look, I could look at my skin color and say I've been oppressed, or I've been doing the oppressing. I could look at one of my friends' skin color and say, hey, you've been oppressed, and you've been doing some oppressing. But the way I see it, man, you know, like, manipulation sucks, even on both ends. Like, higher ups don't want to be manipulated, but yet they're definitely willing to manipulate the feelings and the worries of all the other people. But how is manipulation the opposite of understanding? Well, let's talk about understanding. See, look, when you understand people, you don't have to worry about manipulating them, because you want to know why? Because manipulation is out of the question. Because in manipulation, you don't have to worry about suspecting people. You don't have to worry about people being, being untrustworthy or like a snake. See, when you understand the laws of survival, when you understand that we are who we are, and you understand that, hey, this is how life is, but yet you're not willing to give up, that's the positive form. Because if you understand yourself, you actually bring yourself out of your funk and back into being yourself. Now, people are afraid to understand because it takes longer, and people are not willing to listen to you, or to listen to the fact that you have a mindset. But when you understand people, that's when it becomes a topic of where we're gonna go now, or who am I? So as soon as you understand who you are first, then everybody else follows. But if you try to find who you are first, you're gonna search for a long time. Some people for a long time, probably 20 years. Some of them probably like 10 years, and they say, this is who I am, and I'm happy. See, when it comes to manipulation, everybody's sad. But when it comes to understanding, everybody's happy. Everybody loves to be understood. But when it comes to manipulation, everybody's going to suspect everybody. And they're just going to look at everybody like, why should I trust you? And that's the thing I don't like, especially about when it comes to other people manipulating, feelings, females fucking around with nice guys' hearts, or dickheads from males acting as if, oh yeah, let's manipulate some female hearts, man. And those females would be like the purest of them all. Well, not pure, but you get it. They're innocent. And Michael Jackson sung it well too. Sometimes I crack jokes about him, but Mike Tyson, no, not Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson. Sorry, too many Michaels in my head. There's Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, and Mike Tyson. But Michael Jackson, he sung in this song, Billie Jean, he said, don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. Remember that song? That lyric right there, that will always be ingrained in my head. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. Even if they are older women. Because would you like it if your heart was broken? Would you like it if you were, in a sense, just starving for love? See, people confuse love and lust. They're two different things. One's fueled by desire, one's fueled by compassion. See, love is fueled by compassion because, compassion is also compelled by understanding. Because when you understand somebody, you develop a compassion for them. And then once you develop a compassion for them, you understand them, thus you love them. See, lust is driven by desire, and desire is also fueled by manipulation. See, when you're manipulated by people, you have a desire to have control as opposed to understand. Now, that's another reason why it's so negative, because now people are acting as if like, wait a minute, why do I want to understand people? It's much shorter and it's much more faster to manipulate people. I hate manipulation. I'll sit down with you and I'll talk with you. But I'll give you my view first. I'll say like, shit, if you don't like me, then shit, you might as well say it. Don't try to manipulate me later. Just fucking say it. And if you do like me, just say, shit, I like you. But if you disagree with me, and if you give me a few reasons why, and I'll be like, you know what, man? Now I see where you're coming from. Because people are scared to be upfront and actually talk nowadays, especially when it comes right down to being themselves, because they don't understand themselves. They would rather manipulate other people so they can feel as if they're in control. And that shit is not cool. Not at all. Especially when it comes right down to honesty. People would rather manipulate other people because they're not honest with themselves. But when you understand other people, then honesty and understanding comes hand in hand. And I don't get it, man. If you're honest with yourself and you admit it, then anger and all that shit will not even be a problem. But of course, we do get frustrated. There's a difference between anger and frustration. And, you know, people take two different things and think they are synonymous with each other, when it's in fact not. And, you know, frustration and anger are two different things. Because when it comes to frustration, you try to understand the situation, but you just like, man, I can't do it. I don't know why. What am I doing so wrong? And then anger, you know, if you notice that all the stronger sounding words seem to deal with more negative connotations, or some more stronger sounding words that are more positive deal with understanding, you know, left for manipulation and right for understanding, and you understand. But if you're a lefty, then I'm not trying to say that you're manipulating, but you know, you're more dominant with love than you are with hate. See, hate is right. Hate is like, even though it will get you far in terms of fighting, but when it comes right down to love, it will fuel you to fight even more. And if you don't have love, then your life is pointless. Thus, manipulation of your life is going to be very imminent. But if you have love, you have a reason to understand. Thus, that reason is more prominent than it is with anger. And that's the difference between manipulation and understanding. And with that, YouTube, I say, hope you have a great evening or a great morning, depending on which part of the world you live in. Rate, comment, like, or dislike, share, subscribe if you want to. It's your choice. But hey, one thing I will say is this. Hope y'all have a great day today. It's Broman Clash signing out. Out one. Check y'all later.